For today's lesson, we will talk about the Early Childhood Curriculum Framework. Hello and good day everyone. We are the group 3 and we are ready to discuss one of the framework of early childhood curriculum, which is the structure, which includes the thematic, integrated learning centers and domain-based academic subject. But before that, here are my group mates introducing to all of you the group 3. What is thematic curriculum? It is also known as thematic instruction. In early childhood education, curriculum will be centered around a particular topic, a theme, or an idea. This thematic teaching is based on the idea that children learn best through holistic and real life experiences. So, through real life experiences, this is what makes the curriculum or the teaching and learning most unique and effective, because instead of focusing on rote learning and memorization, kids are able to make better connections with concepts explored because of daily life experiences and exploration. So, for example, the teacher talk about a specific topic about animals. So, instead of telling the name of the animals, the teacher can do another concept like printing out pictures of animals, or letting the child or the children go to a zoo in order for them to visualize the image of the animals. So in that way, the children already know the name as well as the image of the animal, so the concept already there. There are so many benefits of using thematic teaching in your classroom setting. Not only it makes the teaching and learning more cohesive, but it also helps kids or children to understand concepts in a way that closely resemble how life is experienced beyond classroom. So it means that the learning of children is not limited. So instead of focusing in one concept, but through this kind of curriculum we can apply different methods and concepts in order for the children to learn effectively. A thematic curriculum is beneficial for both children and teachers. For teachers, it helps them to better focus on their planning. So it means the preparation of teacher really matter in this kind of curriculum, because it allows them to prepare ahead of time, so they have the time to prepare the resources and materials that they are going to use in order for the teaching method more effective. So the resources and materials being used during the presentation of discussion really matters and affect the learning of the children. So we teachers should consider the resources and materials and the planning, because it can affect our performance on how we are going to deliver the teaching lesson or the discussion. The benefits of thematic curriculum to the children: it allows them to explore, learn, and investigate the environment on their own. So it means that the children in this kind of curriculum is not just learning inside the classroom, but as well as it allows them to explore the real world situation, just like putting their experiences or learnings through the environment interactions. So in that way, the learners or the students is gaining a new skills. And we future ECE teachers should remember that choosing a theme of learning is really important, because we can impart knowledge, not just the knowledge but as well as the skills, in order for the children to become a better learner and a better individual in the society. In this way of thematic curriculum, we will not just focusing on their intelligent, but also it we can help them to foster their all areas of growth and development. Lastly, thematic curriculum seeks to put cognitive skills such as reading, thinking, memorizing, and writing in the context of a real life situation with the broad aim to allow creative exploration. So, one of the goal or one of the aims of this curriculum is to widen the creative exploration of the children based on the real life situation. So just like what I've said, a real life situation is really a big factor of learning and becoming a better person, because the kind of learning of children gain based on the real life situation is acceptable and really effective when it comes to becoming a better person. So we future educators should allow or should foster the learning and skills of the children based on the real life situation and let them to experience the things that real that considered reality.
Integrated Curriculum Framework. The purpose of the Integrated Curriculum Framework is to draw attention to the importance of the standardized connections between key components of the curriculum and how these connections assist in the development of effective programs and courses that can be quality assured. So, students not only connect and create more real world connections in integrated classrooms, but they are also more actively engaged. Creating an integrated curriculum means that teachers are changed with having to create challenging, fun, meaningful tasks that help students connect to information. Creating a solar development and practice reading comprehension skills and mathematics can engage students for more than just a lesson on the solar system alone. So integration helps to achieve retention and engagement in classrooms, which yields higher mastery of content standards. So, ang final concepts or ang final key benefit of an integrated curriculum is the ability for students to see skills multiple times instead of teaching comprehension strategies and just reading teaching those strategies across multiple disciplines can give students an opportunity to see an improvement and to see and implement it in more often. So the repetition of the skills being taught creates a higher level of understanding.
Good day, I am Genevieve Ascapin. I am assigned to discuss the topic integrated curriculum. The positive effects of integrated curriculum, Lipson 1993, are the following. Integrated curriculum helps students apply skills. An integrated knowledge base leads to faster retrieval of information. Multiple perspectives lead to a more integrated knowledge base. Integrated curriculum encourages depth and breadth in learning. Integrated curriculum promotes positive attitudes in students. And lastly, integrated curriculum provides for more quality time for curriculum exploration. So kanang ang integrated curriculum DI promotes greater intellectual curiosity, improved attitude towards schooling, enhanced problem solving, and higher achievement. Also, kanang integrated curriculum allows students to make connections among different subject areas and to their own lives. So kanang when students make these connections and understand why they need to know certain skills or pieces of knowledge, the learning process becomes positive for the students. That would be all. Thank you.
Learning centers are designated areas where children enrich their learning. By engaging themselves in different activities, it helps to develop their social interaction through playing while learning with other kids.
Learning centers are a purposeful way of dividing up your classroom into different subject or learning areas. Learning centers capitalize on children's natural need to explore because they are given the chance to gain experience by trying out their own ideas in a hands-on way. Learning centers also enable children to be creative and to explore and develop critical thinking skills.
So there are 8 examples of learning center. The first one is the art center. Children can practice thinking skills by experimenting with color, texture, and design. Art gives children an opportunity to express their ideas and feelings, relieves tension, and provide limits for self-discipline. Through this kind of learning center, it helps enhancing the social interaction. Second is the block center. Block center play provide children with opportunities to create, cooperate, and communicate. Social learning takes place in the block center as children work together to share materials, space, and ideas. So blocks help children learn to take turns and share materials, develop new friendships, become self-reliant, increase attention span, cooperate with others, and develop self-esteem. Book center can help stimulate children's imagination and creativity while also building language skills. The book center is a great place for adults to read to children and for children to spend time looking at pictures and interacting with different books. Next is the dramatic play center. So it is a place where children can go to pretend, imagine, and be creative. Children can pretend to be anyone and do anything. So this is powerful for our little learners. So it is a place that promotes high-level thinking, problem solving, turn taking, and is rich place for teaching vocabulary. The manipulative stable toy center. So manipulative, sometimes referred to as stable toys, are an important part of the early childhood curriculum because children can use them to practice a wide variety of skills. Some of the most common skills children learn by using manipulatives includes fine motor skills, eye-hand coordination, and visual discrimination, recognition of shapes, colors, and textures, comparison of similarities and differences, matching clarification, and pattern recognition, following direction, following sequences, and concentrating for completing the task. The music centers support social interaction skills and promote creativity while discovering the arts. Early childhood music learning builds cognitive and motor development. As children acquire an appreciation of music, they strengthen skills such as self-impression, the teamwork, and the acceptance. The Sand and Water Play Center. So sand and water play offers children many opportunities to use and develop their fine motor skills. For example, scooping and pouring the sand and water with their hands, using tools like mini shovels, rakes, buckets, and more not only supports their fine motor skills but also helps to develop their hand-eye coordination. The last one is the Science and Nature Center. So science allows children to explore, experiment, question, discover, and understand natural and human-made objects and forces. So hands-on science activities encourage children to observe and manipulate items from the environment.
Importance of learning centers. Learning centers allow children to first use up excess energy. In music and movement center, which is an example of learning center, students are playing instrument. And when students or when the child is playing instrument, they will be able to hear different sounds of the instruments that would energize them or that would enable the child to be energized. Next is learning centers allow children to relax. Playing reduces tension because children don't have to worry about expectations. With that, the child will be relaxed. Learning centers allow children to take risk without a fear of failure. Focus is in process rather than product. And in cut and paste center, which is also an example of learning center, students are practicing fine motor skills that enable the child to take risk without fear of failure. Next is learning centers allow children to be themselves. In learning centers, the children become more open and engaged, more comfortable with their surroundings, and more natural. Another importance is learning center allow children to express themselves. There are examples of learning centers that enable the child to express their ideas or emotions, like an art center. In art center, children are painting. So that's an example of art center. In art center, children are painting. And we all know that painting is a way of expressing our ideas or emotions. Next is learning center allow children to be self-disciplined by exploring in their own way and intentionally directing their own learning. Computer center is also an example of learning center that allow the children to play and explore new things and learn. Next is learning centers allow children to be self-motivated by concentrating on things that interest them intensely. Learning centers allow children to write different stories where they can reflect to and be motivated from it. In writing center, children will write different stories or write different stories that would reflect themselves or help them to be motivated. So that's the importance of learning centers.
Learning domains. In 1956, educational psychologist Dr. Benjamin Bloom created a system to classify learning objectives into a series of learning domains that encourage teachers to think holistically about education. His system came to be known as Bloom's taxonomy. Much has been written about it, and it has been widely applied, including here at Davenport. Bloom identified three domains or categories of educational activities. The three domains educational activities are cognitive knowledge or mental skills, affective attitude or emotions, psychomotor skills or physical skills. With this learning, domain ideas are applied to learning environments. Active verbs are used to describe the kind of knowledge and intellectual engagement we want our students to demonstrate. Cognitive knowledge. The cognitive domains develop six areas of intellectual skills that build sequentially from simple to complex behavior. For examples, Bloom arranged them this way: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. In this time of arrangement, evolved into what we now call Bloom's revised taxonomy. The Bloom's revised taxonomy example is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So, the Bloom's taxonomy is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is recall of information.
Comprehension is the understanding of meaning. Application is use of concept. Synthesis is the combination of information to create meaning. And lastly is evaluation. Evaluation is judgment of concept. And the Bloom's revised taxonomy is remembering, understanding, and applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. That's all. Thank you.
Affective attitude. The affective domain includes the 5 areas of emotional response, categorized as simple to complex ways of processing feelings and attitude. Bloom arranged them this way. So first is receiving. So it talks about awareness, willingness to hear, selected attention, or passively paying attention. Second is responding. So it is an active participation on the part of the learners. Attends and reacts to a particular phenomenon, or in short, it is an active learning and reacting. Third is valuing. It is the worth or value a person attaches to a particular object, phenomenon, or behavior. Or in other words, it is attaching worth to information. Fourth is organizing. It organizes values into priorities by contrasting different values, resolving conflicts between them, and creating a unique value system. The emphasis is on comparing, relating, and synthesizing values. Fifth is characterizing, valuing belief that influences behavior. Psychomotor skills. The psychomotor domain, which focuses on physical skills, was identified, but not defined by Dr. Bloom. His original ideas were expanded by 1970s educators, including Dr. Elizabeth Simpson, who developed them in this simple to complex order. And first is perception. So perception is the ability to use sensory cues to guide motor activity. This ranges from sensory stimulation through cue selection to translation. Second is set. So it is the readiness to act. It includes mental, physical, and emotional sets. These 3 sets are dispositions that predetermine a person's response to different situations, sometimes called mindsets. Third is guided response. So it is the early stages in learning a complex skill that includes imitation and trial and error. Fourth is mechanism. This is the intermediate stage in learning a complex skill. Learned responses have become habitual, and the movements can be performed with some confidence and proficiency. Fifth is complex overt response. It is the skillful performance of motor acts that involve complex motor movement patterns, or in other words, performing with advanced skill. Sixth is adaptation. Skills are developed, and the individual can modify movement patterns to fit special requirements. Lastly is origination. So this is creating new movement patterns to fit a particular situation or specific problem. Learning outcomes emphasize creativity based upon highly developed skills.